All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's a Hob, Spirit, Wind, Judah of the GMS Mississippi Camp, giving all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash. I also want to give double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right, what I want to get into today is basically a follow-up on a lesson that I did yesterday. Basically, what is a food? All right. You know, I still had some things on my spirit pertaining to that topic in which I wanted to get into, all right? So I'm going to start out with Ecclesiastes 10:6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. All right, it says folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. Now, as you may know, the word folly really goes back to the word fool. And I was just meditating on some things pertaining to this society that basically one of the delusions in this society, the twisted dark fantasy of Esau, is that really being base is set in great dignity. Because as we went into the definition of the word foolish, it really went into basically your base nature. So being a base, vile person is really setting great dignity in America, man. All right? So I'm going to get another definition, because there's several definitions for the word foolish. And I'm going to get Nabal. All right? And there's Nabal for fool. All right? Excuse me, that's for fool. All right? And it says stupid, wicked, vile person. Then it goes on to say stupid, foolish, impious. So let's get the word impious. We're going to get these words to get an understanding of what type of characteristic is set in great dignity in America. Okay? This is the Merriam's Dictionary. The word impious. All right?
Impious.
It says impious, not pious, lacking in reverence or proper respect as for God or one's parents. So basically, in a nutshell, one of the definitions for the word fool, or according to the Jensenius Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, is impious. And basically, impious basically means no reference to the Most High. So what does it mean when you say it's no reference to the Most High? You give no consideration to your actions as this compared to the law, statutes, and commandments. So you take no counsel as to how your actions are in alignment with the law, statutes, and commandments. It's just according to the scriptures, all right? It's basically a do without will mentality. Impious means you have no fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right? As a matter of fact, let me get that, man, all right? Let me see if I can get that right quick, see if it can pull it up. I don't know if they have. I think they got the Blue Letter Bible. All right, bear with me 1 second, brothers. I think it's in, I just get it at the King James app. I think you know what I'm getting at. Sinful. Sirach 32:17. A sinful man. Keep in mind, sinful means a transgression of the law, right? Now, fool goes back to impious, which means no reference to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, no reference to his laws. All right, it says a sinful man will not be reproved, but find an excuse according to his will. So this is going into the characteristics of a fool. It says, contrarily, it says a man of counsel will be considerate. Consider what? Yahweh Shema Shai's laws. Consider if this is going to affect me in a negative way or affect the people around me in a negative way. All right, going back to the word impious, basically meaning you're not considering the Most High's way, man. You have no fear of Yahweh Shema Shai. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when of himself he have done without counsel. So he's fearless. All right, but that type of mindset is actually celebrated in this society, especially amongst so-called black culture. I'm going to say this. among so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American culture. They're all adopting this demonic gang or basically animalistic culture, because really the word gangster is not in the Bible. The word real nigga is not in the Bible. That would just trickle over into our world as, oh, they that lived in the flesh. All right. It says, going back to the word fool, which is the Hebrew nabal, which goes into impious, all right, which means you're not daunted with fear. You have no fear of Yahweh Shema Shai. Then it goes into the word abandoned. Like, so somebody that's a fool, they're abandoned. But what does that mean in that particular context? All right. This is the word abandoned in the etymology dictionary. I'm just going to get to the point. All right. It says abandon, noun. It says a letting loose, freedom from self-restraint, surrender to natural impulses. Why does it say surrender to natural impulses? Because we all have them. But the Most High, like I said, gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to subjugate, all right, our flesh. All right, and that's what makes you self-governed. That's what makes you civilized, is that you have restraint over your natural impulses. But a man that's abandoned, all right, he has no government over his basic instincts. Going back, it says a letting loose. All right, they even have songs in the nigga world called Get Loose With It. All right, I'm loose as a goose. All right, freedom from self-restraint. Surrender to natural impulses. By 1822 is a French word in English. It remained in italics or quotation marks through the much of the 19th century. It says, from a sense in French, abandonment, permission, from abandoner, so like if I mispronounced that, quite sure I did, to surrender, release. All right, release your impulses, release those the animal nature, man. So going back for edification, fool goes back to impious, which we know now impious means no reference or fear of Yahweh Shema Shai in your actions. Then it says abandoned, which basically means you have no restraint. All right, and let me see if I can get that real quick, because abandoned reminds me of a house that's not inhabited by somebody, right? So let me see if I can get this right quick. Excuse me while I attempt to walk and speak and read. All right. So I can get this right quick. See exactly where it is. Sirach 27 and 3. Sirach 27 and 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall be soon overthrown. So how is it your house overthrown? The Most High gave you over to a reprobate mind. You're abandoned. You have no oil in you, so you're just maneuvering in this world through your natural lust, your animal instincts. You're just living after the flesh. All right, and going back to the first scripture that I opened up with, folly being set in great dignity, these behaviors that are condemned in our heritage, these characteristics that are condemned in our culture, in our law, all right, is greatly held in honor here. All right. But in actuality, these are the most brute humans on earth, is someone who lives after the flesh. A woman that's sexually promiscuous, a woman that dressed scantily, that's honor in this motherfucker, man. A Jake that got it out the mud, he got it illegally. That's honored, man. They get these guys platforms, man. Even a Jake that dedicated his whole life to a sport, all right, that's set in great dignity, man. But what about a man that's Yahweh Shema Shai fearing, man? Let's just bring it back to the world. What about a man that just, you know, he has his religion. He goes to I want to say church, but you know what I mean, a so-called God-fearing man. Those traditional men, that's not even set in great dignity. Men that will actually keep the southern and northern kingdom intact, at least family-wise, that's not held in great dignity. Esau seduced our people into being demons, man. He told our women that it was oppressive to be a housewife, but very well okay to be a whore. All right, you can't be under a man. You know, that's slavery to be in subjection to a man. but it's very well to have sex with different men. All right? And he had our men chase these dreams of being big drug dealers, big athletes, when you could have just been a simple man that feared the Most High and was a damn plumber, man. And your woman could have just been a woman that was your damn housewife. That's it. All right, Sirach 27:3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall be soon overthrown. So a man that's house is overthrown by demons, or there's no presence of Yahweh Shai in his house, which is his body, as it tells you in Job that we dwell in houses of clay. All right, a man that's a bandit, he has no moral restrictions over his own devices. He's abandoned of the fear of Yahweh Shai, or the presence of Yahweh Shai. All right, so let me see. I think we got one more word for that before we close it up. So it's Nabal, that's the Hebrew for foolish. Impious, which means no fear of Yahweh Shai. Abandoned means you basically have no restraint. All right, you're abandoned. You're abandoned from any restraint over your own nature, your own flesh. Then it says wicked. So let's see what we can pull up when we get the word wicked, man. So a fool is impious, abandoned, and wicked. All right. Let me get that lexicon. Because we say things like wicked is pertaining to Esau, Edom. And we say certain things, but some of us may not fully understand these definitions. So in all things, we have to edify, be edified. So I'm actually going to get the Greek. Animos. Let me see how they pronounce it.
Strong's G 459. Animos.
Almost sound like animal, doesn't it? But it says animos. It says destitute of the Mosaic law. So one of the definitions for fool was wicked. And that word wicked goes back to animos in the Greek, which means destitute of the Mosaic law. Wait a minute. Did they not say in Christianity that we're no longer to keep the laws of Moses? So what does that make them? Wicked. All right. Of the Gentiles, departing from the law. There we go with the law. A violator of the law, lawless, wicked. So Esau used a religion such as Christianity to seduce you into being wicked. That's why some of the most wicked people on the earth, or the most difficult people, they're Christians, because they have no actual laws to follow. They just say what sounds good, man. All right. So the word wicked literally means someone who doesn't keep the laws of Yahweh Shai or the law of Moses, man. So a fool, it said folly, which goes back to fool, is set in great dignity. All right, is it popular to keep the laws in America? The hell it ain't. Is it popular to be a chaste woman? The hell it ain't, man. Is it popular to have self-control? All right, to hell it ain't, man. All right, it's popular being an animal. Esau wants you to be an animal. All right, so it's easy to control you. All right, if Esau made America bread and circuses, but you don't understand, he has you on a very primitive instinct. You just work. After you work your job, if you have a job, then you just feed your flesh. That's why this is a godless, basically a fool. A man that's a fool, he's godless. A woman that's a fool, she's godless. Not only does she doesn't keep the law, she has no fear of Yahweh Shai in her, and she shows it in her actions, and he shows it in her actions. And the God of the material world is really money. I mean, he's the God of this world, but really he makes money a God. So if you're someone who doesn't have any sense of Yahweh Shai in you, then what can you really worship? You can worship anything that pleases your flesh. And the top thing is money, because that gives you access to please your basic nature. So in closing, what does it mean for somebody to be a fool? It's somebody who's impious, meaning they have no reverence or consideration or fear of Yahweh Shai. It's somebody who's abandoned, meaning that they're free of any restraint. So they have a do what thou wilt mentality. It's like a house that's abandoned of Yahweh Shai. The only thing that's left is your basic nature. And they're wicked. Wicked meaning they don't keep the laws. All right, so the 2/3 of our people, they're fools. because they have no fear, they have no self-restraint, and they definitely don't keep the laws. But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, HaKodash, double honor to our apostles, great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. Abba, coming out, Shalom.